Hi. Yeah, nice to be with you all.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm from the UK.
Okay.
I have a business just out in London.
Hmm.
It is basically a photographic art business.
Okay.
Uh, I've been building up over the last year a brand new website, an e-commerce website,
Hmm.
and yeah, I've realized that actually the kind of cosmetic um, interface on the screen is just not enough.
Yeah.
However, uh, my energies need to are in other directions, and I need a lot of help and support to be able to make a site work.
Hmm.
Firstly, is are you able to support somebody that's in the UK? Um, Basically, I suppose my market is the European market,
Hmm.
the UK European market, um, and how Art Storefronts is going to be able to interface within that type of customer base.
Fantastic. A couple clarifying questions. One, do you have a Premier League team?
I try not to,
You try not to. All right. All right. I had to ask. I had to ask. I had to ask.
because you'll always be disappointed.
Yeah, you always will be disappointed. Huge soccer fan, huge fan of American Christian Pulisic, so I'm rooting for Chelsea these days. But I don't want to get into that. Do you have any intention of selling directly in the US, or will 100% of your sales remain in Europe?
No, I mean, the basis of the new site was that it would actually be a global site.
Hmm.
And I have two other contributors. One's in South Africa and the other one is in America,
Okay.
as well as the UK. And the idea was that I will also have contributors maybe in Australia, etc.
Hmm.
And they all come together on my site, an artistic umbrella.
Okay.
So there is an American market that I want to be able to tap into,
Hmm.
because one thing I have I've learned, um, particularly with working in South Africa, is we've got beautiful South African photography of landscapes, etc.
Hmm.
But to people in South Africa, that's something they see every day. They're actually quite interested in seeing the stuff from the UK. And equally, the people in the UK are interested in seeing the stuff from South Africa
Yeah.
and also America. So if you need this kind of real mix of different genres, but within an overall creative concept.
Yep.
Um, but I was wondering how um, your platform populates. I suppose the question is globally, rather than if is it exclusively a USA site.
Yeah, it's not exclusively a USA site in the slightest. And then,
Yeah,
in addition to that, despite having customers all over the world, we didn't at first because we couldn't support them in all the different time zones. But COVID
yeah,
destroyed our office, blew it up, and caused us to be, a remote company. And since then, we staffed up all over the world. And so we literally have support agents in Asia, in Africa, in North America, and South America. There's people on this
yeah.
call from 4 continents that all work at our storefront.
Great.
So the support portion of things is sorted. The sales portion of things, and either Joseph and Victoria will have to speak to the different currency sides of things. You need to have the website up, running, and rolling, and being able to take credit card and all that's important. And there's
Yeah,
some ways to do that. In terms of the selling and the distribution, we really do live in an era now where you guys have a product that you can actually sell globally. And there's not a lot of businesses like that, right? Like, a lot of
yeah,
people are restricted to their continent or whatever. So,
yeah,
it just comes down to how you route the orders and how you ship, right? So let's say,
yeah,
if you had orders that were coming through South Africa, then you would obviously, in delivering in South Africa, you would want a South African printing operation to be able to fulfill those. So
yeah,
two for the one in the UK, so two one for the US. and all of that.
I
But
mean, I'd already sorted out my print and framing
Mhm,
services for UK and Europe.
mhm,
I can send it. I could get them printed here and send them to South Africa. That's not a problem. I could send them to America.
mhm.
That's not necessarily a problem. However, obviously, if somebody's buying from America, it makes sense that it should actually be produced in America and sent directly.
Yep.
I think it needs to be, for me, I've realized rather than it being single sourced, it needs to be multifaceted and uh, to be able to service everybody in a wider area.
Yeah, what's awesome about, customers all over the world, and especially the question about fulfillment of those customers all over the world, that's actually the easy problem to solve.
Yeah,
The hard problem to solve is where to find those customers, right? And
yeah,
that will always be the
yeah,
biggest problem. And
yeah,
the marketing is going to be your number one issue. It's the same for every single solitary person on this call. It's the same for every single solitary customer we have, even the ones that are knocking on the $1 million a year, smaller numbers that is, on down to the people that have just sold their first piece. Everyone has a marketing problem, right?
yeah,
So, speaking to your website and monkeying around with your website and doing corrections on your website and keeping it up to date, 100% of that is time that is not fundamentally changing or growing the business. All you're doing is monkeying with
yeah,
the solution and trying to get something up to speed. If you instead
yeah,
took those hours and figured out how to grow it and get more eyeballs, more attention, you're going to be in a much better place. So more importantly than anything else, that's what you need, right? You need that more
yeah.
than anything else. So that's how I'd
Yeah,
answer it.
that totally. That's what I've kind of recognized,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's drawn me to your setup. Because although I've invested a lot of time and money on setting up a new WordPress site, e-commerce WordPress site,
Mm-hmm.
I realize there's more to it than that.
Yeah,
Uh, and I've got to simplify it down to make it as effective as possible.
correct.
Um,
And then not spend a minute on the website portion aside from what you absolutely have to be doing. So there's no question
yeah,
there's no question that we can help you
mm,
if you're willing to work on the
right,
marketing and take that part of it seriously. Um,
yeah,
no problem at all. But I go back to the true international nature of the art business, and one of the huge initiatives that we're pushing right now that we haven't talked about on this call, but that I usually talk about all the time is this notion of the live art show, right?
yeah,
And the live art show, however you want to do it, streaming on all the various different platforms. I've got a buddy that who's been a customer for going on 5 years now, and I'm trying to pull up the thing so I can show you. But he, middle of COVID, ran a art show, okay, and it was literally out of his garage, and he sold over a 15-day period in two of these shows. He sold, I think, 62 pieces. And after it was done, he had to ship pieces to in his native Canada. He had to ship multiple into the United States. He had to ship a few into Central America, a couple to Europe, one to
yeah,
Asia, and one to India after it was done. And it's like you look at that, and it's like that's absolutely phenomenal. That was
yeah.
that was a local artist attempting to sell all of this stuff out of his garage, right, where he
Garage,
does his
yeah,
painting. It's like truly an international business, which is
yeah,
phenomenal. The difference
mm,
between him and most everyone else is he's been working hard on his marketing for the last couple of years,
yeah.
right?
Well, that's what I need to do because I realize my Facebook, my Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
etc., it's just not joined up enough. So
Oh, it's not just yours. It's
yeah.
90% of artists out there, right? And so
Oh, you. Oh,
yeah,
great.
this we're gonna send it to you after the fact too. You should watch it. But
Yeah,
especially with the international artists and being able to bring them on and talk about the various different aspects of the
yeah.
work and what it looks like and everything else, and then you know, so to your point, do you know what this guy's biggest headache was? Getting the sales. Do you know what his next biggest headache was? Figuring out how he's going to ship it all. So too for you, right?
Yeah.
Solve the biggest headaches first, and then worry about all the
But
other ones.
they're nice questions. They're nice problems to have,
Exactly.
aren't
Exactly.
they?
Exactly.
Yeah. Great.
And then
Okay. Well,
too,
I'd be interested
to see a demo.
discuss, maybe separately. How you could actually put a package together for us.
Yeah, love to talk to you about that. And we already have multiple clients in the UK, Joseph, Vicky, Victoria, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah, like I said early on, not as many, but when we were able to offer support at all these various different time zones, it sort of changed the ball game for us.
And sorry, is the site able to show different currencies?
Yeah, you can put it in whatever currency you'd like it to be in. So you could do pounds or
Yeah.
dollars, or we have Canadian clients who use Canadian dollars. So
Yeah, great. Okay, thank you.
What's up, YouTube? Thanks for checking out the Q&A. What if you have your own question? First, you can leave me a comment below on this YouTube video. I see them. I will respond. Number two, definitely encourage you to subscribe. It's very easy to do. There's some fancy motion graphics going across the screen now, but there's a subscribe button. There's a bell button. You'll know when we're live. You can come on and say, Patrick, I have a question, even from your YouTube app, which is super handy. And then the third is 3 times weekly, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, free Zoom calls. We call them the Art Business Workshops. There's going to be a link directly below me in this description. You can sign up. They're free. You can come answer your question, which I'm sure will be awesome. And I will do my measure best to make sure my advice is slightly better than marginal. No, but in all seriousness, I'll take a crack at answering it. Thanks for checking out this video.